Kirsten and I'm on a mission to end workplace harassment in my lifetime. My sexual harassment started seemingly innocently enough with dirty and inappropriate jokes in the work environment. And it grew from there, and it turned into bullying, retaliation, disgusting language, calling women bitches, cunts, dirty names. It grew from there in that it wasn't just directed at women, directed at or toward women. It was religious groups, it was minorities. There were also lots of inappropriate jokes, talks about our breasts, talks about specifically how I wore my hair, if it was up in a bun or down or curly or straight, how one senator preferred it a certain way. There was one particular senator who liked to go drink over his lunch break. He came back that afternoon drunk and walked right onto the Senate floor and up to me, my boss, and another coworker. We were standing having a conversation. He walked right up to us, looked directly at me, started talking to me and asking me questions. The questions are irrelevant, but what happened after that, his response to my questions, he started yelling at me and calling me Queen Latifah and saying, "You think you're better than me, don't you?" And I said, "No, not at all." And he rambled and rambled and rambled. Could smell the alcohol on his breath. Finally, his rant petered out and he stumbled away. Everyone was taken aback, and again, no one did anything. No one stopped him, took him to the bathroom. No one intervened. No one tried to clean him up. My boss stood right next to me, saw it happen, did nothing, and just moved on. I spent 5 years in this environment in the Iowa State House, and I became someone that I didn't even recognize. And I just got fed up. I really got fed up. And I complained 4 times about the work environment. And each time, nothing was done. The 4th time, I was at my very, very lowest point. You have to understand, I was crying every day. I was hiding it from my husband. People were talking about my sex life to my face and sometimes behind my back. And that was embarrassing to me. And it was shameful. So I kept it secret and hidden. There was one pivotal moment. My husband discovered what was really going on at my workplace. My boss, who, now looking back, I knew he was retaliating against me for my previous complaints. He called me at 10 o'clock at night, and he told me I needed to go into the office right then and there because I had screwed up earlier in the day at work. Part of my job then was sending information, press releases, newsletters to the media. Earlier in the day, I had sent a fax to them and 2 pages had stuck together. And I did not realize that. Well, the nightly news came on at 10 o'clock, and the senator did not get the media coverage that my boss was hoping for, and started berating me, calling me names, telling me I needed to get back into the office right then and there to resend the fax, fix the mistake that I had made. And my husband happened to hear the entire yelling conversation from across the room over the phone. And I hung up, I started to cry, and he said, "What is going on? You need to tell me what's really happening. Why are you being called names right now at 10 o'clock at night?" I told him, and he said, "Well, we need to get real about this, and you need to know your options." From there, I made a decision to contact a lawyer, and I was going to file one more complaint. My previous complaints had been all verbal. This 4th complaint was going to be a memo. I typed it up. I outlined how I wanted the work environment to change. I outlined incidences that had occurred, And I also outlined how I could be of help to make that change, and I wanted to be a part of making that change. I typed it up. I came into work on a Friday morning and handed it to my boss. And 7 hours later, I was fired. I thought, how dare they do this to me? I know I'm in the right. You wronged me. No one should experience this. People out there will see this. I don't want them to see that they can do this to other people. And so my thought process was, you know what? I need to pursue what I consider the right path, and I'm gonna hold this entity, these people, accountable. They can't just go around doing inappropriate things and wielding their power and control inappropriately over others in the place where they make our laws. The legal process took 4 years. And we did not ask for a specific dollar amount. Instead, we simply painted a picture, a very accurate picture. The jury awarded me $2.2 million, and I always like to specify I never saw that. What another part of the legal process is, the state always wants to protect the state's money. So we ended up, I did not want to go back to court. I did not want them to appeal this decision. It could mean another 4 years caught up in the legal system, and I didn't want that. So we ended up settling, and I'm able to now move on and be an advocate for harassment-free workplaces. The state of Iowa has done very little to improve workplace anti-harassment standards. Very, very little. Throughout the country, this whole Me Too movement has sparked a lot of impactful legislation, everything from 1-800 reporting hotlines, anonymous reporting hotlines that workers can utilize, to mandatory policies in work environments. And Iowa has really done very little. I want there to be legislative change. I think that's the way to make a lot of the change. I also want to educate offices, educate organizations on how they can make very simple but yet impactful changes to their workplace culture and the environment. And I also want to educate employees and workers on how they can stand up for other people, how they can build their own self-confidence, and how they can work to make their work environments more productive, safer, and engaging. My main harasser got to keep his job. He was there several years after I was fired. And I find that that's very common. A lot of times it's simply easier, what is considered easier, to move the victim or target out of the environment and let the main harasser stay in order for a variety of misconceptions. I really feel if we're gonna move the needle to end workplace harassment, it's gonna be through bystander intervention. Silence is equal to complacency, and it's not gonna change anything. That's why my toxic work environment was able to build and perpetuate and grow into nastiness. I'm Kirsten Anderson, and you can call me brave.